And day in, day out, it looks as if the challenges and the problems that confronts us in education never stop, and it keeps increasing. As we speak, I had petition from some teachers asking union leadership to address the issue where teachers have been teaching continuously for many years without break. And that there are some particular teachers with some particular subjects who are more burdened in this enterprise than others. As we speak, we are running a semester system. And if you recall, the unions agitated that the semester option for basic schools ought to change to a trimester. That the government or the ministry acceded to. But we are still running a semester system in our senior high schools. What is our position on the semester system vis-a-vis a trimester system? All of you will recall that the lecturers or tutors in the colleges of education have decided to declare themselves to go on mass leave. This is an issue we have been raising with the management of education for a very long time. And we ask the question, when you look at the labor law, every worker is entitled to go on leave. The number of days you are entitled to is determined by your rank. Question, are our holidays leave periods? If the holidays are leave periods, then are we supposed to be marking and assessing students when we are on leave? Because there are prescriptions. That is the same problem that is affecting the tutors in the colleges of education, and they have decided to take this action. The action that they have taken is meant to agitate the thinking of managers of that institution for them to find solution to the problem. But very soon, this very question will be asked in pre-tertiary. If my holiday is my leave, I, for example, as a Deputy Director of Education, if I compare myself to other people in the public service, I'm entitled to 36 working days leave. But NAGRAT, you have never given me leave.
I'm glad.
Now, that 36 working days will work about 40-something days in the year. At that time, do I put down my scripts, my assessment, and enjoy my leave? Or I should finish the assessment and come back and enjoy my leave? Whatever it is, we will have to answer this question. What are the best practices with our colleagues in other countries? Countries that we are quick to refer to as our role models. Though I am a bit old, I am not that old. Someone told me that in the 70s there used to be supply teachers. I didn't come to meet that. Somebody in that discussion, somebody raised that. We are still grappling with the payment of car maintenance allowance. And the car maintenance allowance regime that we have in the Ghana Education Service seems to be a very broken and crooked system. And some people are very happy to keep that broken and crooked system. So you have a situation where people apply, the whole year they are not paid. Some people are paid, others are not paid. They say, no, you didn't apply well. I mean, we have a problem with the regime and the system that is administering the car maintenance allowance. And we will call on the Ghana Education Service to quickly re-look at it. Those who are qualified, those who have applied, the process of application, the time of payment, all these things have to be studied, because our colleagues in the other services are enjoying these facilities, and we in education seem to be having problems with these facilities. When we negotiated the Category 3 and Category 4 allowance, for many, many, many years, they were paying all other directors. When it came to Ghana Education Service, they were not paying their Category 4 allowance. It is only recently. So you go to a district where there is a district agricultural director. District agricultural director, how many people is he or she superintending over in the district? And you go to some districts, we have about 3 or 4 directors of agri, including Accra districts. So if there is a district director of agriculture in Lekman, how many farms do we have in Lekman? But that person, by virtue of the fact that he's a district director of agriculture, he was enjoying the Category 4 allowances. The way we suffered, the number of times we went to Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, the difficulty in getting a simple covering letter from the Ghana Education Service to the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission indicating that these people qualify for this allowance, you cannot believe it. And unfortunately, it pains me that the former Metro Director, who was the president of COOD some time ago, Mr. Aka, these people fought for these things. They were almost always in this office. Unfortunately, they had to retire before something like this was paid. Why do we always have challenges with our system? Now, transfer grants. I don't know how many times we will raise this issue with the management of Ghana Education Service. Transfer is the prerogative of the employer. So when somebody is transferred, it is very difficult to contest transfers. But it is the right of the teacher who is transferred to be given a transfer grant when he or she is transferred. Colleagues, people have been quoting something that do not exist. I was one of the people in organized labor to negotiate the new transfer grants. The new transfer grant, according to the current negotiation, is 2 months gross of your basic salary. When we did that negotiation a few years ago, there was nowhere that we added that the kilometers that the person is being transferred to or from determines the transfer grant. There was nothing like I, myself, Mr. Kwashi of NAT, a gentleman from TUC, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, we negotiated the new transfer grants. Because of these problems, we indicated to the Ghana Education Service that because transfers have financial implications, Director General, you will have to approve the transfer, knowing very well that you have the money to pay the transfers before the transfer is effected. Now, because when the problem comes, we are not going to go to the regional director. We are not going to the district director. We are coming to the Director General for the transfer grants to be paid. I think letters were even issued. As we speak, we have a case of Mr. Yali, a former teacher of Accra Girls Secondary School. I mean, I have a lot of them. I'm not going to give an example. Mr. Yali, Kwame Yali, a former teacher of Accra Girls Secondary, who was transferred to Dande East, that is Dodowa area. The transfer took effect about 4 years ago. As we speak, Mr. Yali is still chasing his transfer grant. We have countless number, we even have district directors who were transferred from their districts. And when we were fighting him for this district director, the district director came to me and said, "Can you leave it?" Because I know somebody started threatening the district director that we have transferred you to Accra and then you are asking Kaburu to come and fight. You will take you to Kuala. So the person came and said, "Okay, it's okay, you leave it." Transfer grants is an issue, and we are determined to fight it. Promotions. And then let me say something. We had a gentleman agreement with management of the Ghana Education Service that when the teacher requests transfer, you are transferring the person on compassionate grounds. On that one, we don't have the moral strength to pursue transfer grants. So if you make the request yourself, you are now being transferred on compassionate grounds. You don't have the moral strength or entitlement for transfer grants. That is a different part. But the transfer where the service itself transfers you in the interest of the Ghana Education Service, the teacher is entitled to transfer grants. Promotions. Again, we have also not solved the promotion issue in the Ghana Education Service. According to public service, there is the statutory number of years a person stays on a rank that qualifies that person to go for promotion or to apply for promotion. We have had people stay on a particular rank for many, many years. And yet, when those people applied, they were told in the regional offices that they did not qualify. We will want to get clarity on this issue of promotions. And then people are also having problems with the results of the promotion exams. Is it a case where there is a number that the GES does not want to exceed? Therefore, whether you've passed or not, you've done well or not, the numbering determines who passes or who fails. We think that promotion is a way of recognizing hard work and motivating people to encourage them to work more for the interest of the service. We've also asked that, and in fact this one in principle, the Director General is in agreement and he promised that they'll be taking it to cabinet, that rise in rank in the Ghana Education Service should not continuously be determined to the availability of space, because there are certain ranks, you can only rise to those ranks when there is space. For example, my brother, hard-working headmaster of Amas, should even be able to have his director rank and still be a headmaster of a school. But it is as if either, unless he decides to apply to leave the senior high school and become a district director or a regional director, he gets stuck at a particular rank. What about his experience, his knowledge, the fact that he can even influence and motivate his colleague heads to come up? So this one, the Director General is in agreement with us, and he's promised us that he'll be taking this matter to the minister. We'll get to cabinet and see how they can rectify that. Responsibility allowance. How much is even the responsibility allowance? I don't think it is even 200 C's. 110, 120. For me, I said that right now, if I were in the school, a regular teacher, even if you give me the responsibility, I'll take it, because after 100, if I sell grants, I'll get it. But it's a problem. While some teachers have been paid, others are not being paid. The GE, and then sometimes let us also blame ourselves and our headmasters and our headmistresses. Because when they did a study, they realize that people who are no longer holding responsibilities are enjoying the responsibility allowance. So it is creating a problem of space for the new people who have been appointed by the head of school to enjoy the responsibility allowance. The GES wrote a letter to all heads indicating the various departments that can be recognized. Some schools have a system where the heads of department and responsibility holding is rotational. So if it is rotational, if Mr. A enjoyed it for the last 2 years, and Mr. A is no longer a head of department, Mr. A will have to agree that he or she loses that amount of money or that amount of next rank that he was enjoying the head of department. It looks as if the system itself is a problem, and then government is taking advantage of our problems not to be able to pay the money that they are supposed to pay. We need to also look at this issue of responsibility allowance critically. NAGRAT, we need to also look into ourselves. The graduate teacher
for excellence.
The graduate teacher
for excellence.
The graduate teacher
for excellence.
Ladies of excellence,
Arise and shine.
ladies of excellence,
Arise and shine.
ladies of excellence.
So well.
As a union, we need to look into ourselves. I don't know why those people were even writing to me. You know, we work with conditions of service and code of conduct. For me, I'm a litigant, so I don't want to give you an opportunity to get me in an argument. You go, there is a sports program taking place. You've taken students for the sports program, and then you take girls out of the sporting program to a hotel, and when you are filmed by those girls and being interdicted by the service, you write a petition to me to go and do what? I will not pursue that. We are excellence. We will not be part of that nonsense. Teachers should know. Those days of bush allowance, it's gone. And you can't even look. I teach in a girls' school. I'm a teacher in St. Mary's. I know what some of the girls. I came to St. Mary's when I was a very young. I was a real handsome teacher. But these days things are spoiling. I know what some of the girls can do, but you cannot give that as an excuse. The rule states that any teacher who engages in any form of amorous relationship with any student, they didn't say student in your school, with any student, they didn't even say school going age, with any student commits an offense. So if you are teaching in whole secondary school and you go and take a girlfriend in Saban secondary school, you have committed an offense. There was a case in Manfi where the parents of the girl consented to this relationship. So they thought they would come to the headmaster and headmistress, because it was Methodist. They thought they would come to the headmistress and say, we know that they are in a relationship and that we agree. It is still an offense. And please, my dear men, cheap side, in the cost. Cheap side, it's very expensive. As a teacher in the polygonal environment, you know, polygonal chop-up, there is nowhere in Ghana like polygonal chop-up. If you like, make mistakes and go and take a girlfriend from the polygonal chop-up environment and don't give her what she wants. One day she will come into the school strip a set naked and prove to you that cheap side is expensive. So colleagues, do not be interested in protecting or arguing for some of these teachers. And when you go on your rounds, let them know it is an offense and NAGRAT will not condone and connive with that teacher. The teacher who is arguing that, oh, the girl just came to my house to do washing for me. There is nowhere in the rules that allows a student to come and wash for you. Why should a student even come to your house to do washing for you? Colleagues, as we go along, we still will have to revisit the issues of our political and administrative structure and ask ourselves whether it's working for us or there's the need for us to amend. The conversation will have to start. It may not come to fruition in my time as president, but as the conversation goes on, you will have to find solution to this issue of the political wing vis-a-vis the administrative wing of the union. Colleagues, other issues are coming up for discussion. Issues of gender equality, gender parity, issues of youth inclusion in our unions. And I have attended international seminar, and worldwide, it is not only in Ghana, worldwide it is recognized that the youth are no longer interested in unionism. Because the unions themselves are not attractive to the youth. When you go about electing old men and old women, and the youth do not find space. For me, if you want me to be a DJ here, the type of music I'll play to you is Kool and the Gang, Shalama. That's my time. But I can assure you, when I play that music, there'll be a lot of young men and women who will not be interested. My time is past. But I still have the groove. There is a need for us to take decisions and strategies to include young men and young women into our union. In fact, Education International was organizing a program. And now when they organize a program, they give you specific area to send delegates. So they ask for young men and women in the union who should not be holding national office position or regional office position, but they should also not be above the age of 35. Come and see how we struggled. We thought Henry was going to fit that age. When we checked, Henry was far above that. Abuna was deceptive. we managed to get some people, but it was very difficult. But those young men, when they attended that seminar, if you know the report they gave us, how that seminar was able to motivate them to know that there are other forms of leadership. I mean, the teacher should be given the opportunity to know what is happening in other places. So we know that what we are doing in our Quansah, in our schools, sometimes may be archaic. And then we should get new ways of doing things. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I thank you very much for the massive support I received from all of you. In fact, sometimes I've count myself very, very lucky as a NAGRAT president superintending over you at this time. And I hope and pray that it will continue. In fact, but for NAGRAT, workers in this country will not have benefited from 15%. I was at the ILO conference. In fact, I traveled with the Secretary General of TUC, the General Secretary of NAT. We were traveling and they didn't know that I have set something in motion. So we were conversing normally. So when we got to the ILO conference grounds, Then the first announcement from 2 regions. So they said, oh, come on. It looks as if your regions have taken decisions without you. Then I said, hey, these people, they are very stubborn. They don't know that we took that decision ourselves. The next day, another 2 regions. And the journalists too, they were also enthusiastic. And they were recording the Jama songs that you were singing. Yes. By the 5th day, then Dr. Yaban came to Gabon. You know something about it. You know something about it. So me, when I get back to Accra, that is when I'll get to know, but my voice is there. No, your voice is not like that. I say you don't know. So thank you very much. We are the only union that organizes press conferences in all the regions. But for us, even our colleagues in education would not have gone on the strike. And at the end of the day, we were able to negotiate a 15% COLA for our workers. COLA is a short-term intervention. But by law, the COLA will have to come to an end on the 31st of December. We are now going to negotiate base pay for the year 2023. The moment the base pay kicks in, the COLA ends and the base pay takes over. The base pay will not be an addition to the COLA quantum. The COLA will be withdrawn. You will get back the pre-COLA salary level, and the percentage of the base pay will be added to the pre-COLA salary level. Now, some people were also having problems with the taxes on the COLA. The law states that any income that you receive, any income, and people think even allowance, no, any income you receive, you have to pay tax. Even gifts. Even gifts. Even gifts. Yes. So that is it, and I thank you very much. Today's deliberations will look at some of these issues, but I will go quickly through the program so I give opportunity for contributions from council members, because sometimes it is when we hear from you that we know that information is coming from the ground, and that opportunity ought to be given. I took the decision to suspend all regional grants, and I was getting calls left, right, center. Colleagues, those of you who were here during Adeko's time, if you don't bring returns, were you collecting grants? No. Yes. The zonal chairman, the whom you're giving some money, what did he do with the money? I am not chasing the accuracy of the money. I'm not even saying you chop it. No. Let them work. Let them visit at Treasia Senior High School. Right at the visit at Treasia Senior High School. They have done this. The chairman will come back to the meetings and they will discuss with you the decisions that we're taking going forward. And looking at the situation, I've directed the finance officer to release the grants immediately to all the 10 regions. Have you sent it? Yeah. Oh, they received it already. It's sharp. Yeah. And then thank you also. And the information got to me that you have decided to attend this conference, council meeting pro bono without taking the allowance. Ambassador, I like to thank you for your magnanimity and your generosity. That you are patriotic citizens of our country and you are ready to work for this house. Thank you very much.